Commuting on a bike can have its days like this. Bright sunshine, some nice fast rural back roads, very little traffic. There are some villages to go through, there's some 20 limits. But there's not a huge amount of traffic. And then some days I get a bus to overtake as well. So there are some days commuting really has its benefits on a bike. It's a good uplifting way to get to work. Nice spirited spin down some back lanes for a couple of miles. As I said, sometimes there's very little traffic, sometimes there's hardly any traffic. But then, as you can imagine, as you progress through the back roads, you will get closer to civilization. A few more houses will appear, and then the traffic will appear. But then, I'm on a bike, so the joy of being on a bike is, well, filtering. It's a little bit narrow up here, so a little bit of caution. Some people will move, some won't. Sometimes you need to kind of dart between gaps in cars. Always make sure you do your shoulder check as well. Some cars really don't like bikes filtering. I don't really understand it. You're on a bike, you're one less car in that queue of traffic. But then it is that mentality of must get in front. However, most days, most drivers play ball. They don't really get in your way. They don't seem to have an issue with it. Some people just naturally sit close to the white line anyway. There's nothing you can do about it. But you do need to keep an eye out on what's coming the other direction. Keep your eye out at junctions as well. It's a golf course. No one uses the golf course at 7 in the morning, but you still need to look anyway. And then eventually it's into the urban roads. They're a little bit busier. I tend to get to work early in the morning, so traffic is never too bad. Even if there is a queue, I'm on a bike, I can just get through it. But nonetheless, mornings like this definitely make commuting on a bike absolutely an enjoyable way to get to work. Even if there is a little bit of urban traffic to deal with. Traffic lights, pedestrians, cyclists, people on their school runs, people on their work runs. Everyone's just trying to get somewhere. Hopefully everyone gets somewhere safely though. And we can all do our bit to help with that as well. But nonetheless, we all have our trigger points as well. We try not to have them, but... And, you know, maybe in some future videos, I'll show you some of the things that can be trigger points. Sometimes you just got to shrug them off and just get on with it. As long as you do, you kind of survive and get through it and keep the rubber side down. As you can see, another perfect example of a little bit of traffic. I can scoot through the gap, get out of people's way and crack on and get to work. But it's just more and more traffic lights. And then there are some mornings like this one. So this morning it was -5. It was absolutely freezing, and to be honest, it was early. I really didn't know what the road conditions were going to be like, particularly local roads near me. You don't know how much traffic has been on them. You don't know if they've been salted. So it was with a lot of trepidation I headed off down the road this particular morning. But luckily enough, absolutely no issues. Luckily enough. But when you get to the main road, of course, things tend to improve. As traffic's been over it, so it tends to clear up any issues with ice or frost. But you always need to be a little bit cautious when it's this cold. But my... early mornings like this, clear, crisp, frosty, bit of sun in the sky, just looks stunning. Just a shame it's so bloody cold. But nonetheless, this was a quick introduction to my commuting. There'll be future videos. Bye for now.